Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We will be getting started shortly. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I am Sami Abusad, Director of Education at T3 Live. I hope you are doing well. We're going to be going over the market. I'll be reviewing the market with you. We'll also be going over my swing ideas for tomorrow and the rest of the week, those that don't trigger. If you find benefit in today's video, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button. And before we start, also a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you're new to our channel, would like to download a free copy of my ebook, link for that also in the description. And if you have any questions for us, please contact us, info@t3live.com. Okay, here we go. The market, no change. What can I say? This is a daily chart of the QQQ, which tracks the top 100 companies, not countries, companies in the NASDAQ. And it's just no change. I'm not in the business of trying to predict the top when there's just a grind up. I can say a couple of, educated things. Oh, we have a, we're a little bit extended, far from the 20. We might pull back. We probably will pull back. Sure. But as long as we have a nice 45-degree rising 20-period moving average and the price is above it and just above it, not too far above it, I am not in the business of trying to predict the top, because 9 out of 10 times I'll be wrong. I've learned my lesson already. When the market accelerates means, you have the rising 20 and you have price starting to move away from the 20 like so. So you have a divergence, so to speak, where the speed of the increase in price, the moving average can't keep up with, right? Then I can try and predict the top. Then I will look for a reversal. For example, GPS. We're in the GPS. You see how it's far from the 20 now? Okay, now I need to trail my position. I'm still not going to short it. It actually doesn't look climactic enough to short, but I would want to trail my position. You see what I mean? Because it's too far from the 20. But when it's hugging the moving average, it is absolutely unwise to try and predict the top, because most of the time, it ends up being the top for a couple days and it goes back up. So I don't want to get shaken out of my longs. Again, the SPY is a little bit extended. We could see a pullback towards the 20 if we were to draw a trend line. We're probably, oops, that's not what I meant to do. We're probably kind of, at the upper end of that trend line, versus the 20-period moving average. So every time we were about, let's say, half an inch away from or 5% away from the 20, we pulled back. So we are kind of towards the upper end of the range. We might pull back, but I'm not predicting anything. I'm not predicting a top at all. All right. So the bias, overall bias, is to continue to be bullish. Okay. Day-to-day changes based on what the market is doing, whether it's gapping or not, but overall bias should continue to be bullish. In terms of the swing ideas, here's a few. I mean, that's probably a dozen or so, but I have a lot more. But those are kind of like the dozen or so that I think are worthwhile reviewing with you. This is gold. I was in the AU and got out on this day, by the way. So I kind of got lucky. But you can see it went vertical, right? The same with the HMY. Went vertical and printed a huge green bar. Got out. It's actually back up. No, not above my exit, but went back above it for a while. So, when they go vertical like this and start printing wide range bars, then you can safely get out without regrets, because the price is already too extended. The AU put in a pullback, very sloppy on the daily chart, but look at that tight hourly base. So over the base, stop right here. Not bad to get back into gold. I don't like the HMY anymore, even though HMY is probably the strongest gold miner. But the AU had a nice pullback. So I think it goes back up. So again, over the base, stop under it. There's also, I think, SVM, which is a silver stock. that's basing up the highs. That looks kind of good. Now you might say, isn't that too far from the 20? Isn't that acceleration? No, it isn't, because it all happened in one bar. If it is multiple bars up, 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 then we're talking acceleration, like the ANF a few weeks ago. Okay, so the AU is gold, the SVM is silver, and I like it over 315 by about $3 on the SVM. BHC is transitioning on the monthly chart. Admittedly, every time I get into the stock, it doesn't work for some reason. I don't know if it's me or if it's the stock. Look at that monthly time frame. Look at that curling 20 MA on the monthly chart. Looks beautiful. So I like it higher over. It's actually 968. Call it 970. Stop. Wide stop would be under $9. The tight stop would be under 928. It's up to you. Tighter means you can get more size in. Wider means smaller size, but also less likelihood of getting shaken out. So it's up to you. The rule of thumb for me, it's a general rule of thumb. If the pattern is picture perfect, I go with the tighter stop. If the pattern is a little bit sloppy or questionable in any way, shape, or form, I go with the wide stop. Box is a daily buy setup, deep pullback, but it's also pretty. So like it higher over 28.54, call it 28.60, stop under 27.90, and target about $30 on the box. Cruise lines look bullish, and I think the CCL looks the best. There's also the RCL, there's the NCLH. Those are the three main ones. So CCL over 1730 by 1687 as a long. I like it more even on the monthly chart. Look at that monthly chart. Boy, does it look good. So again, over 1730, stop under about 1685, okay, on the CCL. CXW is already an open position in the newsletter, and so is the GEO, which is doing better than the CXW. But the GEO is too late. So the CXW, not too late. The entry should have been that day, but if you're not in it already, I think over the base, which is like 1630, 1620, 21, stop under it. Okay, tight stop. No, I wouldn't put the stop under. I would put it under this bar's low, which is 1560. Okay, just to be safe, give it a little bit of room, because it's already late. It's already a little bit extended. And I like the, those prison stocks higher all the way up here on the CXW. The GEO, well, it kind of doesn't have as much room. So, and the GEO is the one that I have more size in. All right, because I got it on the tight stop. This 1, 2, 3 was my entry on the GEO. The DINO is an oil stock. I don't like the location away from the 20, but boy, does it look higher. It really looks higher. Over the double top here, stop under this bar's low. We are in the TRGP, which is an oil stock as well. Look at that. I mean, it's a rocket ship. And I am in the Halliburton, HAL. Not as impressive, but I also got it right at the bottom right here when it went climactic on the intraday. So this is another oil stock that I like higher. Okay. The Ford, believe it or not, as boring as of a stock as this is, has kind of a triple top breakout with a tight stop under this bar's low. The aggressive entries have low odds. Okay. So I think this is a low odd trade, but it looks really pretty. Over the triple top, stop under 1279. FRPT, again an open position from around $90 before it reported earnings, and it's been basing bullishly, and it actually probably broke out on Thursday, but it's not too late. Over that bar's high, which is 1530, stop under 103.20. Notice how it based for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks at about $15. The original target on the play was 120. So if we were to look at the monthly chart, I'll show you where I got 120 from. It's this bar's high. But since it's based around that area for now 3 or 4 weeks in a row, I have updated the target in the newsletter for tomorrow. You'll see it'll come out in the morning to about I think 150 is what I went with, but 160 would be okay too. So I'm increasing the target on FRPT. JetBlue, we were in it, but now it's back up, and I like it higher over 730, stop under 648. If you want a tighter stop, under $7. That would be the tighter stop. The airlines all look bullish. We have DAL as an open position, but except for Southwest, LUV. Wow, that looks actually lower. All the other airlines look higher. Moderna, I made a big mistake on Moderna when it went way up there into target, pretty much. I didn't take it, and I ended up getting trailed out for very little money. So I'd like to get back in it, but that's not the reason why I'm getting back in it. I like the hourly breakout that's setting up on it. So I like it over 106.40, stop under $100 or 130, and target maybe, you know, for target one here, but I really like it to get to 140 or so. So on the Moderna, MSOX is cannabis, by the way. I will be talking about crypto. Just stick with me until the end, okay? I'm just going over the equities now. I will be talking about crypto in a little bit. MSOX is the, I guess, leveraged ETF for MSO. Oh no, this is MSOX. Is the leveraged ETF for MSOS. So either one works. I usually go with the leveraged ETFs, usually, because you get bigger bang for your buck. And I like it higher over 628. So over 628, there are two places to put the stop. One would be right here, and one would be right here. I would go with the wider stop because this is not a great pattern. What I like about it is the monthly is trying to transition on the monthly chart. So that's what I like about the MSOS or MSOX, whatever you want. Okay, trying to transition, but it's not a pretty pattern on the daily, so I'd go with the wide stop. The NVEI is a base breakout after a really powerful gap. The only thing about the stock is that I believe it received a bid to be acquired. So I don't know if it's gonna move, but it looks beautiful as an hourly base breakout over 29.40. Stop looks like about 27.50. You'd have to check. You know, it would be 27.68. So I like it as a breakout on the NVEI. A PAC, already an open position, but I'm looking to add to it on the weekly 1, 2, 3. And look at the monthly, beautiful. Now, the only problem with this, is if you look at the weekly chart, this bar is a little too big. So usually I don't like it to be this big, but I'm still gonna do it if it takes out 785 or so, stop under 715 or $7 to be safe on the PAC. PAYC is a nice weekly transitionary buy setup or transition A buy setup. Like it higher over 195, stop under about 185. I think this bar's low. Yeah, 185.99. It's a very spready stock, so I would give it room. SMG, I called it long last week in the newsletter over this bar's high. It should have been over this bar's high, but I missed it. And then it gapped a little bit, and I didn't get a fill. Even though it was like 10 cents above my entry, I didn't get a fill. So I still like it higher. I think a lot of the food and beverage stocks have bottomed long term. I said that for the last 2 weeks. I've been saying that. I don't know if you played Hasbro, that got to target one on Thursday, I believe. And now it's pulling back a little bit, but that was a nice move. And it's not just that. There's a lot of them. I mean, look at the SYY. I mean, that still hasn't gone anywhere. It looks beautiful over the base stop under. The only thing about it is that it's a slow, it's not a growth stock. I mean, it's a slow mover, so I don't want to tie up a bunch of money in a high price stock that uses a lot of margin, so that's the thing. But it looks good, looks beautiful. SMG, a lot more volatile. It's trying to bottom on the monthly chart, so I know I missed the entry already, but I like it to chase it a little bit over 74 by 70.75 on the SMG. SVM we talked about. YMM is the Chinese stock. A lot of the China stocks appears to be bottoming. I don't know for sure, but this looks nice. Now the entry for this also triggered on Friday. I just didn't see it, so I think it's not too late over 737. Let's say 740 by $7 as a long-term play on the monthly chart. Okay, so those are some of the long watches that I like. Here's some of the shorts. I like the ANF. I actually was in the ANF off the top right here, and I covered it either this day or that day. I'm not sure. It just wouldn't fall as much as I wanted it to. Notice the potential double top here. Not exactly my type of play because it's back above the 20 period moving average, but this could be a double top. So short under Friday's low or Thursday's low, whatever is lower. Looks like Friday's low, stop over Thursday's high, which is 139.11. This could be the top on the ANF because of the vertical move that it printed, that it had over the last year and a half. I mean, this is Abercrombie and Fitch. What a crazy move from like $20, right? It's actually, you know, from the low was 14, but $20 to 140 non-stop, literally like non-stop. Now, I never once tried to short it while it was hugging the moving average, but once it accelerated, okay, I gave it a try. And as you can see, it didn't even work that well. Now there's another opportunity if we want to do the double top. A BMBL is an open position in the newsletter. It was shorted it here, but now has a sell setup. So I like it short just to add to the position or as a new play under 1075, stop over. I'd give it to 1130. That's 1129. Okay. DLTR, that looks lower, but the problem with it is I don't like to short into the prior low. That's the only issue with it. Otherwise, it looks lovely short. And the same with the DLTO, I think DLTO or DLO. It's the same exact kind of setup. It looks even more bearish than the Dollar Tree, than the DLTR, because it gapped under like a year worth of basing, if not more than a year. So it looks good to here, looks beautiful, but I don't like these big bars and to short again into the prior low. EME, I also tried the EME short off the top. It didn't work. I did trail it to this bar's low, but bar's high. I didn't take a full stop on it, but I lost on it. Now, why did I try? Because you see how it was hugging the moving average, price was hugging the move, and then it accelerated. It didn't work. And now there's another entry under 345 by 350. This is too bullish probably for me to short. If the market falls tomorrow, then yeah, we might look back and say, oh, that was the top on the EME. That was the top on the ANF. That was the top on GE, right? I don't think GE is topping, to tell you the truth. But, you know, it's got a little bit climactic. And there's a couple more that are a bit climactic, like the ANF and the EME. There's the X also, is doing a sell setup under 39.30. I like it. Stop over 40.20. Okay, 39.30 by 40.20. Target the prior low, this bar's low, which is about 36.50 on the X. X was a buyout, and then, you know, it seems like the buyout might fall through, and so that's why it dropped, because the government decided to oppose it. Whatever. So that's the X. In terms of crypto, I've been a bit anxious about crypto because I decided not to take anything, even though Bitcoin went climactic. I mean, that's the weekly time frame. Okay, so if you look over here, 1 week it says, so 1W means weekly time frame. That went a little climo. If you look at Ethereum, even more so maybe. And I decided not to take anything, and so, you know, so I don't know. So I've been a little bit anxious about it, but because I didn't know how much it's gonna drop. Like, it had room to 52, but if it dropped to 52, if you look at the weekly, it's better. If you look at, you know, so about 50, if it dropped to 52, then that meant that would have been a longer term top. So I've been expecting this to be a short term top, and it's been, you know, pretty volatile. Now, looking at the daily chart, back to the daily chart of Bitcoin, notice how it tried to break down, or it did break down right here that day. Okay, it looks like that was last Tuesday, and look what happened on Wednesday. The big wide range red bar was reversed completely, engulfed by a wide range green bar, and ever since then it's been basing. And it's not basing at the bottom of the green bar, it's basing it's staying towards the upper third of the green bar's high, which to me suggests it's higher still. So I still like it higher. Is there a great setup here? If I wasn't in it, would I get in it here? I'm not sure. I think it's tough. And also the stop would be huge, because you'd have to put your stop down here, and then the entry would be up here, okay, if you want to do it. That's Bitcoin. Ethereum is weaker. It dropped a bit more than Bitcoin, so this was actually a better long at the bottom, but it's weaker. Now, they will both move up or come in at the same time. I'm showing you, let me show you that will shrink the chart if I showed you the watch list here. Solana is a buy setup on the daily chart. It actually already triggered, but I don't have any cash available in my exchange account with Coinbase. Every dollar I think that I have is already invested. So that's the issue. But I can add more tomorrow. Just look at the daily buy setup of Solana. So what I would look to do, since it already triggered, is look for a pullback here on the hourly chart. See how it popped into resistance? It's coming back in. So you let it go on the initial pop, whether because you don't have any cash or because you didn't like it. You let it go. If it comes in if it comes in after the initial pop, then the second time it pops, that's when I get in it, because it would be confirmation of the initial move. But the caveat is it will be a bigger stop. It won't be as tight of a stop, but it will have more confirmation. So this looks good. This looks good. I think Solana, I'm pretty sure, is headed to the all-time high, if not higher. Then I'm impressed with Dogecoin. The recovery here after breaking down pretty badly, went back up. So that tells me it's still higher as well. But I don't have an entry for it. It's just a little bit impressive. Keep an eye on Shiba also. That might go back up and pop. This actually does have a bit of an entry because it's based. Whereas the Dogecoin, unless you bought it at the bottom, which I didn't, it doesn't have an entry at the moment. I like the AVAX also. That's doing a daily buy setup. That's the daily chart. So again, looks pretty good. BNB is also nice, but I think you can only get it if you have a Binance US account, which I do. I have like 90 BNB coins, I believe, which I called in the room over that doji bar. It's a 1, 2, 3, and the transition on monthly. It popped really hard into the all-time high. I didn't sell anything because I think crypto is higher in general. Now, did I give back like $17,000 on just BNB alone? Yes, I did. Did I give back, I don't know how much on Bitcoin, probably over 100K? Yes, I did. But since I don't think we topped out, I didn't want to get shaken out. So let's hope, they continue higher. There's a bunch more. There's the ORN that's doing a buy setup. Zendesk is looking good. There's a bunch more. This is a very nice monthly chart on the SNX. But, how many am I going to go over with you without overwhelming you today? So, at any rate, hope you enjoyed today's video. And again, if you have, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you have any questions for us, reach out. info@t3live.com. Thank you so much for sticking around till the end. And I will see you on the next video. Take care, everybody. Ciao.